The Purple Clover reports 21 ad-libs that became classic movie lines. The reason I bring this up is because a YouTube user by the name of Narcissist said this about one of my videos. Quote, "What the fuck did I just watch? If you're going to make a video with a purpose, I don't think this is, I suggest having an outline. You're all over the place." Unquote. Allow me to reveal to you all the production stuff that looks up the news. You're looking at them. And what do I use for news sources? Over a period of time, I read up on Yahoo News articles, MSN opposing views. Sometimes if I'm not too sure about something I previously read on one of those said sites, I turn to Google, and sometimes I ad-lib. Now you know. Obama pens tribute to Bam. If Obama was in Nigeria, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Gambia, Morocco, Lebanon, Cameroon, you know who he's also, you know who he's also has to pen? Larry Sinclair, because according to a Google link, 99 people in prison for being gay. Ad-libbing. Plus-size woman proves size doesn't matter after witnessing fat-shaming in Old Navy. Rachel Taylor is taking a personal stand against fat-shaming. The brunette woman is making headlines today after her recent Facebook post went viral, in which she recounts her experience while shopping in Old Navy, and shares a disappointing conversation she overheard between a mother and daughter. The girl picked up a plus-size tank top, showed it to her mom, and said, "Look, me and so-and-so can fit in this tank top," Taylor recalled in the post. Her mom laughed and said, "Yeah, you could. That thing is huge." While the comment was not directed towards Taylor, she admitted, "I couldn't help it. I started crying," adding, "I guess the girl and her mom walked away." Taylor said her husband then walked her out of the store and back to the car, where she sat crying for a long time. Before she went back inside to finish shopping, "I ended up buying that tank top because it turns out I look fierce in it," Taylor wrote. Sharing a dressing room selfie. Be kind, think about others before you speak. And if someone hurts you, you have to move on. Wow, that's very big of her, isn't it? The New York Times reports this prosecutor's goal: kill more people. In a much-discussed dissent from the Supreme Court's ruling on lethal injection last week, Justice Stephen G. Breyer laid out the problems as he saw them with the death penalty. Among them was arbitrariness in application, including how simple geography can determine whether someone convicted of murder will be sentenced to death. So this man obviously doesn't want to kill more people, he just wants justice for the people who have been killed by murderers. Like I said before, once you murder someone, you violated their right to life. So, therefore, violated someone else's constitutional right to life. Plus, isn't murder against the law? So I really see murderers as people, like liberals. Kansas governor's controversial gay marriage order. Governor Sam Brownback told state agencies that they can't punish religious groups for opposing same-sex marriage. On her Facebook page, Michelle Bachmann said that L.G.B.T were bullies, and apparently she's not the only one. Outrage. See how radical LGBT bullies just threaten these young Christian conservatives. When does declining to participate in LGBT sensitivity training on campus result in an organization being labeled as a hate group? When do young Christian conservatives get accused of committing an act of violence because they choose not to submit to arbitrary rules dictated by a school's student association? Apparently, when it's the Young America's Foundation, YAF, chapter at George Washington University. that refuses to attend such LGBT sensitivity training, then being called a hate group and a cancer, and even being compared to ISIS, are warranted. LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. Here I go, sounding like a talking head again. When people oppose LGBT and are hinted with going to sensitivity training, isn't that just the same as conversion therapy? You're behaving wrong, and it's time for us to fix that. A religious group cannot be punished for expressing their beliefs against same-sex marriage is controversial. Why? One believes in same-sex marriage and one doesn't. Who are you to just budge in a bakery and be like, oh hey, I'm getting married, bake me a cake. Congratulations, where's your wife? I'm gay. And the state orders that guy to go to sensitivity training just because he doesn't believe in something. Not behaving the way the bully wants you to. That's the gist of what Cody Simpson said when being interviewed by Eli Engelbert when discussing bullying. Was George W. Bush charged to aid wounded vets? The former president earned a hefty sum at a fundraiser and was provided with a private jet at a cost of $20,000. Quote, a slap in the face. According to Snopes.com, breaking, Obama and Hillary officially charged with aiding terrorists. According to Truth in Action, Obama, Clinton charged in Muslim Brotherhood conspiracy. According to WND.com, several prominent media sources in Egypt are now reporting that Egyptian lawyers have filed criminal terrorism charges in the International Criminal Court against President Obama. According to Mr. Conservative, breaking, Hillary and Obama officially charged with helping terrorists. According to Conservative Tribune, breaking, Egypt charges Obama and Hillary with conspiring with terrorists, Muslim Brotherhood. According to Joe for America, that's right. Both President Obama and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have been charged by the Egyptian government with being accessories to terrorism, specifically the slaughter committed by the Muslim Brotherhood, a group that has solid links to Muslim terrorist organizations like Hamas. Obama received $20 million from the healthcare industry. With all those busts of aiding terrorists, and he still gets a hefty sum of $20 million, I think that's a slap in the face. I said it once, I'll say it again. Yahoo News is such a liberal website. Michael Douglas calls out American actors. The Ant-Man star says Brits and Australians are scoring roles because US men aren't masculine enough. It's a phenomenon. It makes sense because Robin Thicke came out with a line of cosmetics for men. There was a show about a dad who wants to become a woman. Caitlyn Jenner got a personal role in a movie. Eddie Redmayne got a sex change for a movie role, The Danish Girl. I absolutely agree 100%. Republicans saved you people once before. Now this time around, it's more difficult because there is literally nothing to save you from. Instead of William Ellison telling his slave what to do, we now have a Jeb Bush telling people to work more hours. Right now I have two jobs. I work from 9 to 2, then 3:30 to 12. So I only have like an hour to myself. But instead of getting pissed off like a 12-year-old rebel who doesn't like being told what to do, I understand that working does make you money and does get you by in life. I hate myself. I don't like the hair on my body or face. I don't like my Adam's apple. I don't like my deep voice. But instead of taking hormonal pills that will prevent me from growing to provide a little happiness, I just understand that growing up and puberty are real things that really happen. Really. But some people don't think like me. Really? There are people who actually think Jeb Bush telling people to work more hours is just telling you what to do. They see that as a bad thing. So they just get a welfare check and that's that. There are people who hate their male selves and want to take hormonal pills which may or may not be covered by Medicare. Instead of growing up and accepting puberty, so it is much harder the second time around to save you because we are literally trying to save you from yourselves. We have irresponsible men who don't want to face being men, so they run around masquerading as women. We have people who don't want to work, so they just get handouts from the government. They become dependent. And you do what the provider tells you to. So when the government wants multiculturalism, liberals will vote that way. When Muslims come to this country and see all the gays holding hands, they're going to have a bloody field day killing them left and right. You can't have people from third world nations who hate gay people come here with gay marriage legal at the same time. Something's got to give, gay rights or multiculturalism. But it won't, because you sold your soul to the Democratic Party and voted the way they told you to. And Ariana Grande has to apologize for saying she hates America. If I were her, which I wouldn't be because I've come to terms with being a man, but if I were her, if I were in her situation, I would not apologize for saying I hate America because quite frankly, I do.